The greatest disappointment in Bleach history was Ichigo not going with Rukia. I don't know how Ichigo and Orihime got together in the first place. I don't know how Tai Kubo changed his mind from Ichiruki to Ichihime. It makes no sense at all. And when I try to connect with the story, I understand whoever Ichigo went with, regardless of who it was, it still affected the whole story as a whole. Because Ichigo and Rukia, come on. There's even in the very beginning, it showed Ichigo and Rukia already spending time together. And Ichigo said it himself that he didn't even notice Orihime until Rukia mentioned Orihime. Like, hey, ain't that your neighbor? Oh yeah, I got a neighbor, huh? I forgot it was her. Oh yeah, huh? Funny thing. Here are the many reasons why I myself thought it was going to be Ichigo and Rukia and why I support them. First off, the openings. The openings were if you see all the openings, 75% was always Ichigo and Rukia, always sticking together. If not first to last, whatever, they're always there together. In the Bleach, in the show, you see Rukia pumping him up, always supporting him. Even when he was going through that phase of that, if he couldn't control that hollow inside him, he was there and got him up. He said, hey, stop crying, get up. I'm gonna get you back on your feet, because I'm your woman. Like, oh! It's crazy. And what could Orihime do? She was like, oh, I can't do anything, because there's no special connection between those two. Yeah, they're friends, but as far as that, that's it. When Rukia had to go back to the Soul Society, who had to go there? Ichigo. Both out of obligation and out of a special bond. When Ichigo went to save Orihime, it was more out of a friendship, and you know what? You really want to know the second reason? Even Grimjow himself said it wasn't because it was just to save Orihime. It was just to fight. Ichigo wants to fight. And when Ichigo went to save Orihime, I don't know if you guys remember her, but she's a very funny little character. You guys can probably guess already. Nell, a former Espada, thought there was even a special connection between Ichigo and Rukia. She even asked, what's your relationship? And I thought that was cute. Like, oh man, I want that so bad. Because, there's so much build-up in Ichigo and Rukia that you can't help but like, oh man, they're going to end up together. I know for sure they are. Until, in the end, it was Ichihime. You're like, what? How did that happen? I understand there was a little moment where Orihime went to see Ichigo to say farewell. But as far as that was it. I did not see any connection between those two at all. It was one-sided. Orihime had feelings for him, but Ichigo didn't really have those kind of feelings for her. Now, understand, realistically, understand, how can you have two characters, Ichigo and Rukia, living in the same household, and now develop a kind of attractive bond to each other? How can you not? Realistically, one is going to have attraction for the other, if not both. So they lived together. They went eat. They went to school together. They went home together. They connected as a whole family. She got to know her dad. She got to know her sisters. Man, I don't know. I don't see how could they not hook up with each other. There was even a movie made for both of them. It was a story about Rukia's past, but it was in the end Ichigo saving her again. Now I can name you a bunch of reasons why Ichiruki should have ended up together, and that would have made it a much better story. Now, regardless what people may say, it's not that Bleach is just an action anime. It's not a romance anime. No, you're right. You're completely right. It's not a romance anime. It's an action anime. But regardless, people did end up together. And what would have made the story better was not Ichigo and Orihime, but Ichigo and Rukia. I can name you a bunch of reasons why it should have been Ichigo and Rukia. First of all, during the whole beginning of the series, it was Ichigo and Rukia. They spent time together. They ate with each other. They slept with each other, so to speak. And when when Rukia had to go back to the Soul Society, she had to go in a prison, and Ichigo went over there to save her. And when he was in a time where he had to go save her, in front of Byakuya, they had a little conversation, and you can tell the how natural they were together, and how they felt safe and comfortable with each other. The second was during the Bound arc, when Ichigo was going through a phase where he couldn't control his hollow, and he was losing to that firebound Yoshina. I don't know if you can pronounce her, but she was a firebound, and she was beating him up. And just when Ichigo was in trouble, who saved him? Rukia. Come on. Rukia and Ichigo had a special bond, and even when Rukia was still in her, at her full strength, she still went there to support Ichigo. Now, even during the Rancor, during the Espadas, when Gribjao came, who was there with Ichigo? Rukia. Come on. Rukia was there the whole time when Ichigo was in trouble. She was more competent than Orihime could ever be. She was there both physically and emotionally. Come on, it just blows my mind how you cannot support Ichigo and Rukia, and how one little scene, which was alright, it was normal, it wasn't that great, it wasn't bad, but it was just normal, and make you think, oh, Orihime and Ichigo should be together, with no emotional nor physical support at all. Blows my mind. That's what causes the Bleach series to end up with a low score as a whole story. So if you notice in all the arcs in the Bleach series, the Rescue, the Bounce, the Rancors, the Magai, the Zanpakutos, the Aizen, and not the Aizen, sorry about that. But especially in the full bring and at the end of when they just defeated Aizen, you'll see that Ichigo and Rukia are always together. No matter how you cut it, you always see them together. Always. You can't deny that fact. They're always together. At the most dire and at the most fun, they are always together. Now, it's not. I'm going to show you something else. It's not just in the series. It's not just in the anime series or in the manga. I'm going to show you something else. There's also another form where that Ichigo and Rukia are always together. I'll show you right now. If you see, I don't know if you guys ever had this, ever got this. My brother gave it to me. Well, my brother gave it to my brother, then my brother gave it to me. So, I don't know. That's weird. But if you notice, who's next to Ichigo? That's right, Rukia. Always. Who's next to Ichigo? Rukia. Who's next to... Oh, wait, look at that. Who's next to Rukia? Who's next to Ichigo again? Rukia. Come on. You can't deny the fact there's always a special bond together. Always. If you notice that, you perv, that there's always a special bond. Boom. There's always a bunch. I don't know. There's a cool one. There's a cool one about these two. Bam. It's not that. But still, it's just to prove a point that it's to prove a point that why Bleach had a bad ending. Now understand. I'm not saying that Bleach is bad just because of that. I'm just saying this, that it's one of the many reasons why Bleach will get a low score. And so, because at the end of the day, guys, parents didn't matter, because it still played a part of the whole story. Now, I'm not saying just because this part was bad that it should get Bleach rotten tomatoes and cause bad reviews. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's one of the main reasons why I didn't like Bleach at the end of the day, and that's why I will score it at a 6 or 7 because of the many reasons why what's going on. Because Tai Kubo did a bad job on who should be paired up with two. Again, guys, it's just part of the story. I'm not saying that I didn't like the pairings that it affected the whole thing. That I'm gonna throw crap on it. What I'm saying is that it affected it as a part of the story because again, Tai Kubo did so much build up on Ichigo and Rukia, and now with Ichigo and Orihime, that it didn't make no sense to me. Like, what? Again, guys, it's just my opinion on these things. I don't know how you guys really feel. This is old. This is gonna blow over. But it's just one of the many reasons why I didn't like Bleach at the end of the day. Because Tai Kubo did a horrible job on the build up with Ichigo and Rukia and Ichigo and Orihime.